Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So those of you new here, I'm Disha, I'm a mandala and acrylic artist, but this time I'm going to go ahead and try a very new medium, which is the gouache. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a floral illustration, a loose floral illustration with gouache on black paper. So hope you are excited for today's tutorial, and without any further delay, let's get started to the video. Hey guys, so today we are going to paint this loose floral illustration on black paper using gouache. So let's get started with today's video. Getting started, the materials that I will be using is the Brewster Artist Gouache in the set of 12 here. Along with it, I'm using the Brewster 200 GSM black paper in A6 size. Along with it, I'm using some miniature round brushes of Brewster once again in the size 1 and 4x0. Also, I'm using a clear tray palette from the 16 well palette of Brewster Airtight palettes. And we will be needing a jar of water or a glass of water alongside. Getting started, I'm using the shade Hot Pink here, and I'm just pouring a few drops of each of the color that we will be using. Next, I'm moving forward to the Titanium White. The next shade that we will be using is the shade Mid Yellow. Next, I'm using the shade Viridian here. Now you can use, instead of Viridian, any type of green that you're having available, maybe sap green, light green, dark green, or any other tone of green. And along with it, I'm using the shade Cerulean Blue just to use for a color mixing at the end. Now moving forward, I'm just using my round miniature brush in the size 1 here of Brewster miniature brushes. I'm just adding a bit of water to my palette here. Along with it, I'm mixing my hot pink with the mid yellow to create the coral pink shade of the flower that we will be painting today. Now you can go ahead and use any other color, or maybe use a bit of crimson with your yellow and add a bit of titanium white to achieve the same color tone. Don't make it too watery or too diluted, otherwise it will come up transparent or translucent and won't be opaque. Now using the same round brush, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a bit of ovular shape pointed at the start, and we'll press the brush down and create a petal like shape. Alongside, we'll go ahead and create 2 more on each side. We are going to make it pointed towards the start and ovular towards the end, and add 2 side petals with a dot, leaving a bit of gap or a circular gap in the center area. We'll go ahead and create more number of flowers. You can go ahead and create anywhere around the paper. I'm creating on the rightward side this time to go ahead with an alternate composition. I'm repeating the same step, starting with a bit of thin stroke and pressing it down to create the ovular shape, 2 side petals and a middle dot, leaving the mid area bit gap. Now watch it from the close-up so that you have a more clear understanding of it. Go ahead and use your brush in the same way so that you achieve the best strokes and your flowers look more realistic, and you can achieve the shape of the flowers very nicely. I'm going for this alternative type of composition here, but you can go ahead and add and create any composition that you want to. I'm going for few of the flowers facing towards the leftward side and few towards the rightward side, and I'm keeping it till the 5 flowers. I'm adding a bit of detailings or a bit of dots here and there on my florals as well, again to make it more realistic. Next, moving forward, I'm just taking a thinner brush. I'm using the brush 4x0 here, the round brush of Brewster miniature brushes, taking the mid white, mid yellow here, and just going ahead and adding a bit of dots in the central area to cover up and make the center of the flowers. Just go on adding few dots here and there to fill up the center region, and repeat the same for all of the flowers here. Try not to make your mid yellow again very diluted, otherwise it will come up transparent and wouldn't show through the black paper. You might overlap a few of them among the petals, that's absolutely fine. Moving forward, I'm just adding a bit more titanium white to my existing coral pink mixture, and using the same thin brush, the 4x0 brush, I'm going ahead and creating a bit of strokes in my petals to enhance it and add more detailings to my petal and work it as a highlight. Now this is something it's very optional, but you can go ahead and create this to add a bit of detailing and make your flowers look more natural and more realistic. Don't go ahead and make it like an outlining. Try and add a few strokes from the center area of the petal towards the outer side, but stop in the mid area and do not cover up till the end. Repeat the same thing for all of the flowers here to add the detailing and highlights to all of the flowers. Be very precise with your strokes and make it as thin as possible to make it seem like the petal detailings or petal textures. Moving forward, I'm just taking a bit of mid yellow and mixing it with the titanium white here to create a very light yellow tone, which I'm going to be going ahead and using to highlight my center area of the flower. So I'm just adding a couple of dots towards the topward region of my central area of the flower and not covering the whole area up to create the highlight and create the contrast against the dark area of the central region. Going ahead, I'm adding a few dots of the same color tone of yellow here and there to create some mini flowers or wild flowers in between to create a contrast between my main flowers, and again to go ahead and fill up my composition in a more beautiful and interesting way. Add as many as you want, try to not overlap it with too many. Place them beside the flowers or in mid areas, blank areas. Next, moving forward, I'm just adding again a bit of water to my palette, mixing the viridian with my cerulean blue here, and again using a bit more of the mid yellow to make the green on the lighter and brighter tone. So I want my green to be more brighter, so I'm mixing more of the mid yellow, but you can go ahead and keep it on the darker tone if you wish to. I'm also going to be adding a bit of the titanium white to make it on the more pastel look and more lighter look. So I'm happy with my tone here of my green, and using the same thin brush, I'm going to go ahead and create the stems of my flowers. I'm going to bring down each of the stems here in a more V-shaped, narrow kind of shape towards the end so that it looks more fuller and makes my composition look more heavy on the top half. Go ahead and attach stems to each of your main flowers and bring it down to a central region. This gives a more blossoming effect to your floral composition, making the stems towards the central region and making the flowers bloom towards the outer side. Create these stems from your wild flowers as well, attach from the end. You might also go ahead and attach a bit of the wild flowers with your main flower stem as well and not totally bring it down. So you can play around with the variation of joining the stems as well. Now once you're done with joining all of the stems of all of the main flowers and the wild flowers using the same color mixture, what we are going to do is go on creating the leaves. So what we are going to do is press our brush lightly, press at the mid area and pull it out. Repeat the same on the other half to create the 2 strokes leaves. Again, take the tip of your brush, press your brush and pull it out. Make sure you go ahead and add your leaves to various directions, to various shapes and various sizes to create the variation in your composition and make it look more interesting. Overlap a few of them from each of the stem of the wild flowers as well as our main flowers in different direction to give it a more interesting look. Follow the same process, or maybe sometimes just add a stem and then a leaf which is not attached to any of the flowers, again to fill up our composition in a more nicer way and to fill up the space that we have here. Keep your way moving forward towards the top half of your composition from the bottom half. Make a few leaves drooping towards the downward sides, looking towards the upward side in different directions, again just to give variations and make it look more realistic. Keep keep on repeating same till you are satisfied, and you're satisfied that you have enough of the leaves and your composition looks full. Try to make more of the leaves towards the bottom half than compared to the top half, again to make your bottom half more on the heavier side and the top half more on the narrower side, so that your composition looks more heavy on the lower half and less heavy on the top half, creating a more blossomed kind of a look. Try and balance out your composition by adding the leaves here and there wherever you feel it's necessary. Also add a few of the leaves from the side of the flowers and the top half of the flowers, so that it seems that the leaves are showing through the back side and the sides of the main flowers as well. Do this for all of the main flowers, so that again it gives it a more natural look. Add a few of the smaller leaves here and there, again to make your composition look fuller, and in the central region it's not too blank. Next, moving forward, what we are going to do is mix a bit of titanium white to the existing color mixture of the green to turn it into the lighter tone, along with a bit of mint yellow, and create a very light pastel tone of the same green color. And what we're going to do is go on adding a thin stroke on one side of the leaf to again go ahead and create a bit of highlights to your leaf and add a bit of detailing like we did to our main flowers. So we are going to go ahead and repeat that for all of the leaves present here. Make sure you're very steady and going very patiently, so that you do not go ahead and cover up the whole leaf, and just add a thin stroke of highlight. Precisely fill each of the leaves here with the highlight. Now once we are done with the highlights, you might go ahead and use the same color mixture to add a few smaller leaves here and there, again to fill up your composition and add a bit of contrasting tone to the dark greens that is already present. So this is again something to make your composition look more interesting and create a much more higher contrast in your composition as well. So once you are done adding the smaller leaves here and there, you will be done with your floral illustration using gouache on black paper. So this is our loose floral illustration on black paper using gouache. Hope you like this video. So if you enjoyed this video tutorial, go ahead and hit that like button and also comment down below what you want to see next. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you are always updated about new tutorials and exciting videos that we are coming up with. And I'll see you in the next video.